How has AI really impacted the job market? Since generative AI first hit the scene almost 3 years ago, the world hasn't stopped talking about it. Surveys show one clear thing. People are worried. There's a growing fear that AI could take over jobs, replace workers, and change the way we all work forever. And honestly, that fear isn't coming out of nowhere. We've seen companies across tech, media, and finance laying off employees, all while investing heavily in AI tools and automation. It's a massive shift happening in real time. Now, of course, no one can predict the future with 100% certainty, but what we can do is look at what's already happening. How employment in the US has changed since the release of ChatGPT in November 2022. So, does AI really have anything to do with this? Or is it just the latest buzzword people are blaming for bigger economic trends? Before we dive into the actual numbers, let's first briefly go over what artificial intelligence really is and how it could impact jobs in the future. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is a type of computer system designed to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. At its core, AI uses algorithms to analyze massive amounts of data, recognize patterns, and make predictions or decisions based on that data. Some AI systems can even generate creative content, writing stories, composing music, designing visuals, or inventing new ideas, by learning patterns from examples and combining them in new ways. Unlike rigid programs that follow fixed instructions, AI can mix styles, experiment with possibilities, and produce outputs that feel original, sometimes in ways humans wouldn't even think of. This capability is already changing how businesses operate. AI can automate repetitive tasks, optimize workflows, and assist in decision-making, boosting efficiency, but also shifting the kinds of jobs humans perform. So, as we explore its impact on the labor market, remember this: AI doesn't just replace jobs, it transforms them. It creates new roles while reducing the need for certain repetitive or predictable tasks. Okay, we probably know a little more now than we did a few minutes ago, but we're still far from a full understanding. We're barely scratching the surface. We can all have our own opinions about this. Some might say it's just a bubble, and when it bursts, everything will go back to normal. And maybe they'll be right. On the other hand, we can't ignore the insights of respected and knowledgeable people, experts whose opinions actually shape the future. Could they be wrong? Of course, anyone can be. So, let's take a closer look at what they actually said. Elon Musk. We will have something that is, for the first time, smarter than the smartest human. There will come a point where no job is needed. You can have a job if you want one, for personal satisfaction. Bill Gates. Artificial intelligence will likely replace doctors, teachers, and more professionals within the next decade. Humans won't be needed for most things. Mark Cuban. There are going to be two types of companies in this world: those who are great at AI and everybody else that they put out of business. At first glance, that all sounds pretty scary. Or maybe it's just exaggerated. We'll see. Let's focus on today's real problems with job layoffs and ask, is this really coming from AI or is something else behind it? Between January and September 2025, more than 946,000 job cuts were announced in the US. That's a 55% increase from last year, the highest since 2020. At first glance, it's easy to think AI is to blame. After all, investors and CEOs everywhere are asking, how are you using AI? Why aren't you using AI? Can AI help cut costs? But the latest data shows that most layoffs in 2025 actually come from economic restructuring, not automation. Yes, companies are experimenting with AI, but replacing humans isn't that simple. Using AI effectively turns out to be slow, expensive, and complicated. Think about it. You can't just plug in ChatGPT and fire 10,000 people. It takes months, sometimes years, to integrate AI tools, train staff, and rebuild workflows. So no, the AI is killing all jobs overnight story isn't true. It's more like this. AI is changing how we work, not whether we work. There's even a term for what's happening now: AI washing. That's when companies use the words AI and automation as a cover story. Let's say business isn't doing well, sales are down, costs are up. Instead of admitting that, they just say, "Oh, we're restructuring because of AI." Sounds futuristic, right? And here's the crazy part: Wall Street loves it. Stock prices actually go up when companies say they're using AI, even if it's just to write emails. So sometimes these AI layoffs are really just PR moves, not real tech revolutions. Sometimes they even label layoffs as AI-driven to make it sound like innovation, when really it's just cost-cutting. The first and biggest factor is the state of the economy. When the economy tightens, companies start looking for ways to survive. And labour costs are often the first target. Interest rates are still high, inflation hasn't fully cooled, and companies are feeling the squeeze. When borrowing money is expensive and consumer spending slows down, businesses start cutting costs. And unfortunately, that often means cutting jobs. So where does AI actually fit into all this? Right now, AI isn't really replacing people. It's amplifying what we can do. It's more like a tool that helps us work faster, think broader, and make better decisions. But it still struggles with something crucial: understanding. AI can process information, but it doesn't get the world like we do. Let's look at some real examples. In marketing, AI can now write entire ad campaigns, analyze customer data, and even predict which words or colors will perform best. But it still doesn't truly understand emotion, humor, or timing, the things that actually make people care. In software development, tools like GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT can generate code, fix bugs, and even suggest architecture ideas. They make coding way faster. But AI doesn't understand context. It doesn't know why your feature matters, or if a shortcut today could break everything tomorrow. That's where human developers still matter. In film and content creation, AI can generate visuals, create voiceovers, and even mimic your favorite director's style. It's amazing. But AI can't tell a good story. It doesn't feel tension, humor, or emotion. It just imitates patterns. The story, the message, the heart, that still comes from us. So yes, AI is powerful. No question about that. But it's not replacing us. At least, not yet. It's a force multiplier. It helps us do more, faster, and better. But it still needs direction, creativity, and human judgment. AI can think fast, not deep. It can predict, but it can't care. And maybe that's what keeps the balance, for now.